Hey, Jordan here. In this video, I'm going to be offering you a 7-day challenge to love every aspect of your life. Maybe you can send this to a friend, have an accountability buddy, somebody you'd like to be able to check in and watch how different your life can be in a week with this practice. In the East, traditionally, this can be known as Bhakti Yoga, if you want to look that up. And in the West, I figured with Christmas, Christ Mass, we can embrace Christ consciousness and use that as a catalyst to transform our lives. This is one of the most important things I've used in my life to transform my life. And it really makes a big difference in every aspect. So I'm going to offer some insights into things that have helped me and some pitfalls if we don't embrace this path, which is always available to us. But I would challenge you for the next 7 days, try to love every single thing in your life. So with the path of love, this is really the core, the root of everything that I share, every offering. The real root of it all is love. And the most important thing to love, first and foremost, is yourself. I know for me, when this concept of loving myself first became aware in my life, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Why don't I love myself? Why don't I consciously take time to love who I am? And it was a game changer. During my morning meditation, I would repeat the mantra, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And I'd begin feeling into what it would be like to love myself. How would I respond if I really loved myself? What would it feel like to embody that energy? And you can feel every cell in your body begin to change with this energy. You have so much more vitality, so much more energy when you consciously love yourself. And this will begin to transform, like I said, every aspect of your life. So you consciously enter the state of self-love. And even if you are in a place in your life, you might have been aware of something that you're doing, you might want to change some kind of way that you're treating yourself. Just come back to, all right, I love myself enough to start making different changes in my life. And you might come up against a wall, you might fail, you might do something that you aren't proud of, that you would do if you didn't love yourself. And that's okay. That's part of the game. That's part of the experience of being a human. And you have to give yourself grace and give yourself love, and just love your mistakes, love your failures, love your victories, love everything that surrounds you. On the highest level, you chose it all, and you are continuously choosing it all right now. So to embrace that love, it'll change everything. You'll start eating foods that nourish you. You'll start taking care of your body. You'll start taking care of your mind. Start feeling the emotions that you need to feel, regardless if they're good or bad, because that's all your imagination. and they all have their place. They're all guides to lead you to the next step, the next transformation, to give you depth, to give you wisdom, to give you more life. So it starts with yourself. You can try the I love myself mantra. You can look in the mirror and repeat that mantra, I love myself. And once you surround your body and your aura with self-love, try giving it to someone else. And with the holidays right here, I know a challenge for me with my family was learning to accept and love members of my own family the way they are, without trying to change them, without saying, you should know this, you should do this, trying to alter who they are. Instead, just love them for who they are. And the way they respond to you is completely different. And what I've found in my life, when I'm in my head and I'm thinking, I can make all these justifications and judgments about my family or anybody in the world, really, about why they should be a certain way, why they aren't acting a certain way, and I'll butt heads with them, literally mind to mind. And when I change my awareness and bring it into my heart is so much more open and expansive to this love energy. It just gets it right away. And that will transform how I think about somebody. So if I'm thinking in my mind about someone in my family, all the reasons why they suck, it changes completely. And I have empathy and I have compassion. I have love when I move into my heart space, literally just moving my awareness, thinking, how would my heart see the situation? Because again, on that deeper level, you chose your family. You chose to show up in this body. Maybe it's to do some deep alchemy, to offer some transformation for this whole line of genetics that you entered into. Or maybe it's just an individual growth. Maybe it's both. But ultimately, you chose your family. You chose to be in this situation. And regardless how dire, how bad it could be, just love the situation. And maybe you have to set a boundary and just separate yourself from a family member if they're acting in a way that just isn't in alignment with who you are. Maybe you can just love them from a distance, but still you bring love into that situation. For the next 7 days, for the next week, just love everything. And that includes the job you work at, even if you hate your job. I've been there before. I've had jobs that I really didn't want to show up to, but when I did it with love and devotion and offering, it transformed the whole experience. It was done with a lightness, done with love as an offering. And eventually those jobs transformed on their own because I brought a different energy and I learned the lessons that I needed to learn from that job. So whatever you're in, you can be sick, you can be financially struggling, you can be anywhere in your life. If you just try to love it as best you can, you'll notice how it transforms, and things that maybe you needed to learn the lesson from will drop on their own accord. They'll drop on their own because you're not holding on to them with this resistance. Because that's really, you can accept or you can resist all of the things in your life. And when you resist, they persist. And they're gonna keep showing up because you have to learn this lesson again and again and again in a deeper way. And maybe even if you love something, a lesson might show up again, but you're gonna have an easier time moving through it, an easier time integrating and alchemizing all the lessons that need to come from it. So that is my challenge to you if you're watching this. Love everything in your life for the next week. And in a week from now, if you don't notice any changes, you say this is all garbage, fine. At least you tried it. And what most likely will happen if you genuinely love everything in your life, you'll notice how you can use it all, as Ram Dass says, as grist for the mill. Every aspect of your life can be used as a growth platform, as a way to expand your energy. And yeah, you'll notice not only will you enjoy your life more, but you'll be able to learn the lessons and expand and grow in ways that you just can't if you're in resistance, if you're separate from the life that you are manifesting right now. So that's the challenge I offer to you. Love everything for the next week. See how it changes. If you want to dive deeper, there's so many different methods and modalities and points of view that I offer with my one-on-one coaching. Check out my website, book a time. I love you. Ciao.